Hello there, Mr. Bagels here, and welcome back to Subnautica Below Zero. Last time, well, we made our batteries, we made an aquarium, and we got everything set up, so we are ready for our future adventures. And then, as we concluded the end of that video journey, whatever you want to call it, that day, I said that today we would be doing something a little bit different for our 10th Subnautica video. We are going to actually sit down and we're going to read through some of these logs. What are you looking at? Yeah, float away. We're going to be looking at this backlog that we have of things to read. So today, officially, the first thing I'd like to do, though, before I even say anything else, is let's get this out of the way. Let's get this off of our screen. We don't need this anymore. We have our aquarium. We're good. Can we hit the hay? Let's do a little sleep. Let's do some snoozing, which is fitting, very fitting, because we're doing story time today. That's basically what today is going to be, is we're going to read through many of our logs and things that we've gotten that we haven't read through. So, this is what I'm going to say. Get yourself a drink, maybe get something to snack on. I don't know. Get like a cookie or something, or get a cup of coffee, get some comfortable pajamas or a blanket or something. I don't know, whatever you want. Just get yourself comfortable, and we're going to do some reading. And I'm going to press the wrong button like always. At least I'm consistent. Yeah, so that's what we're doing, because we have 63 research logs we have to go through. When I played through the first Subnautica, I did not look through like anything. And so this time I wanted to change that. I wanted to make sure I actually went through and read some things. There's many things in the first Subnautica that I did not do. And so I wanted to be a little better about that. But, you know, maybe you can see where I'm coming from when I have 63 that we have to go through. I think we only have 6 for alien data. That seems kind of boring, though. What about this? Outcrops. I kind of want to just crack on with the life forms. Like, it seems like it'd be kind of fun. This is okay. I thought it was animals. I didn't realize. Well, okay. I'm trying to decide which thing I want to read first. Maybe the vehicles. That could be kind of fun. What do we got going on here? We've seen the glide. We've seen the truck. I think I read through the sea glide. I hope. I don't know if we've actually read these or if I just loaded them up randomly. But let's go from the top. Let's go. I'm not going to reread these, so we're going to assume that we did read them. But let's read about the sea truck. The sea truck is an advanced underwater... I can't believe we're doing this, but I'm trying. I am actually trying, okay? The sea truck is an advanced underwater vehicle with detachable modular cabins for maximum adaptability in the field. Main cabin, small and nimble when unencumbered by additional modules. The main cabin alone is comparable in speed to the sea moth. All right. Sure, I don't believe it. I like the sea moth. A wide reinforced glass viewing window provides excellent forward visibility while at the helm. Retractable helmsperson's chair, no expense spared. Unlike the larger Cyclops submarine, the sea truck does not support the addition of internal modules like fabricators. However, it can be upgraded to enhance its speed, towing power, and crush depth, among other things. Ratings, wow, it really gave us a lot of details, huh? Ratings, speed, variable depending on cargo, crush depth, 150 meters, upgradable. Power, 2x replaceable power cells, upgrade modules, slots, 4, and it can fit 1 person. I think you could fit 2 in there. It'd be pretty cramped, but you can fit 2, come on. Additional modules, bespoke cargo modules can be attached to the rear of the main cabin, providing a range of powerful benefits. Available modules include fabricators, docking stations, habitation sections, okay. So you can, like, catch fish and keep it with you. Of course, plenty of storage. That'd be kind of cool. We can get some new stuff for the aquarium. Additional cargo modules reduce the sea truck's speed, maneuverability, and power efficiency. Additional modules can be jettisoned directly from the main cockpit controls to enable exploration of tight spaces. Oh, interesting. Or in case of emergency. The sea truck. Competing products are trucking hell. Hey, that's my joke. You can't make that joke. Alright. Well, okay, cool. That's kind of cool. It looks like they put a lot of thought into you having a sea truck. It does look like you can attach things onto the back of it, so I'm kind of hoping that some of the modules actually do that, like they extend the sea truck, but we'll see. Snow Fox. Alright, there's not as much about the Snow Fox. Here we go. The Snow Fox is a one-person hover bike designed for fast traversal over a wide variety of terrain. While providing little protection for the pilot, the Snow Fox can easily outmaneuver most threats. Cool, so it's like a bike, it looks like. Especially when upgraded with a jump module. Just don't try to take it over water. Okay, so it'll probably die if you take it into water. High-speed hover bike, onboard headlight will make you look cool. Yeah, boy. Alright, that's what I'm talking about, man. Get a bike. Let's do it. The Snow Fox. Other ground vehicle are rabbits in its headlights. Other ground vehicles are rabbits in its headlights. Alright, that's a little awkward. Snow Fox hover pad. It's just a hover pad for the Snow Fox. The hover pad is a deployable pad equipped with 2 articulating arms for rapid Snow Fox assembly and repair. Recharge via magnetic to thermal energy conversion. Most commonly used for land-based operations in low to medium gravity. Yeah, we need to get this because I want to try the bike out really bad. It seems really cool. What's this power one? Bioreactor. Whoa, okay. Let's read about the bioreactor. On planets where organic matter is plentiful, but sunlight is not, a reliable bioreactor will frequently provide the most efficient power solution. We should craft this soon because we have all those shrub nuts that we could probably use for this. I imagine it would work. I'm not really sure though. May be installed in any multi-purpose habitat room. Chemically compost organic materials, converting them into energy over time. Accepts all plant matter, from seeds and spores to moldy fruits and vegetables. Can also process animal matter, fat, muscle, eggs, etc., and some organic waste. Energy production is... I gotta stop real quick. Organic waste. Can you imagine if you could craft in this game like a bathroom, and the bathroom you could use that for the bioreactor? That's crazy. That's weird. All right, it's just so funny to think about because sometimes games let you do things like that, and you're just like, you would never expect it. That would be really, really weird though. Energy production is proportionate to the calories in the organic matter. Horrible time to say that. Horrible time for that. Oh my lord. The bioreactor, totally organic. Oh my god. Habitat installations. So we've read a few of these. I kind of want to go. Is it too late now? No, we can save those. What about equipment? Anything cool in here? We could read about the cold suits. Spy Pengling. Let's read that one. Let's go with that one because I'm curious about. Oh my god. All right, we're reading Spy Pengling. The Spy Pengling provides new avenues for researchers to access natural above-ground habitats. It is especially effective at maneuvering through spaces otherwise too small for humans. Penguins are highly active creatures who are protective of their young penguins. In order to better study these energetic denizens of the Arctic region, Altera scientists on 4546b had to think outside of the base. A well-known phenomenon, the Visakis principle, asserts that in order to best study fauna, one must become the fauna. Oh my god. Scientists across the stars have used this basic principle to infiltrate and observe alien creatures of all sizes and dispositions. Doctors Caucus, Curtis, Tucson, and Macbeth pioneered these accomplishments. Inspired by this, and after months of trial and error, the first Spy Pengling was crafted at Phi Robotics Center, bringing about a new era of exploration and excavation across all operating outposts. Warning: research to create a waterproof edition of the Spy Pengling was halted due to compliance concerns. Currently, contact with water will result in complete system failure. Features include fully customizable outer shell to replicate any small bipedal creature, 2 all-terrain tracks for smooth movement over rough conditions, remote controller for operating at distances up to 80 meters away, atmosphere dependent, 4 storage slots, self-destruct option in case of danger or immobility arm, with 3-pronged claw for picking up samples. Okay, cool, so you can actually like gather things with this. That's cool. Fully detachable camera with a 180-degree rotation to observe spy pangolin and surrounds. The spy pangolin. Sit back, relax, and let the robot do the hard work. Well, there you go. That's kind of cool. I didn't know you could actually gather with these. I thought they were just so then you can look around the area without having to leave like a safety spot. Like I actually thought it was like you use it so then when you're in the Arctic areas you don't actually have to like put yourself at risk. That's kind of what I thought that was for. But so that's pretty cool. I like that. You know what? Let's read about the cold suits because I'm interested in this, especially with what we got coming up. Oh, cool. It's not a whole lot. Cold suit. Unrivaled in protection from colder climates, the cold suit is the ideal outfit for below zero conditions. Fur-lined for natural heat transfer reduction, tri-laminated seals at all openings, rated to 133.8 Kelvin, self-regulating interior compressor. Alright, what's the matter, compressor? Cool, okay, so that's nice. This cold suit keeps you warm. Fantastic. I want to read... So in here, I think I would like to read about the aquarium. Let's do this. This seems fun. The aquarium is designed to hold and sustain up to 8 small aquatic organisms and fits inside a regular, multi-purpose habitat room. Aquatic creatures make up 70% of all known species, making the aquarium a commonly deployed tool in many exploratory operations. It is just as often used to house livestock for later consumption as it is to hold specimens for xeno research. An automated environment regulation system means there's no need to feed or care for your subjects. NB due to its size, the regular aquarium is not rated for breeding applications, and creatures are highly unlikely to mate. Construct a full-size alien containment unit for this purpose. Okay, so you can't use the aquarium to hatch eggs. I kind of figured, but... You know, I also wanted to know that, so that's good. I'm glad that we know that now. Let's do the scanner room. Scanner room. This advanced habitat module can transfer a small outpost into a burgeoning science and exploration station. A 3D display in the center of the room stores local topographical data. System can scan for and pinpoint particular materials. Remotely controlled drones scan the area up to 500 meters in range. Wall-mounted camera feeds allow for live control of scouting drones. Upgrade console may be used to enhance the module's functions. Yeah, that's something we definitely need to do in the future when we get the modification station, because we will need that to really help us hone in on some of the weirder things that we have to find. Speaking of which, modification station, where the standard fabricator atomically rearranges raw materials to form complex devices. The mod station is able to combine complex devices to enhance their function. Most industrial vessels are fitted with a complement of equipment modification stations, which enable engineers to adapt their tools on the fly. To conserve hard drive space, the modification station is excluded by default from most personal emergency blueprint libraries. However, extreme environments such as ocean and desert class planets may necessitate the adaptation of basic survival tools for unanticipated applications. For this reason, access to a mod station is always recommended. Fantastic. Yeah, it is recommended. I want my heat knife. All right, I want my lightsaber. All right, I want my lightsaber knife. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead, now that we've read that, let's jump up and read some of this. This is the stuff that I was actually excited to read. I want to read about the flora and fauna, about the different creatures and whatnot, because I have a feeling that we might find some like interesting stuff. Let's start with the table coral, just to get it out of the way. Table coral. Each disc is an individual colony of microorganisms, filtering nutrients from the water. Anybody who likes biology probably is going to love this. Growth patterns indicate the colonies are in direct competition for positions with superior current or light. Unlike other coral species, its structure is malleable, softly pulsating as it pumps nutrients to its extremities, and only turning rigid when it senses physical assault. The jewel-like nodes in the surface are concentrated buildups of rare minerals the coral is unable to process. Assessment: exploitable in computer chip fabrication. That is true. That is what we've got the most of it for. Um, we've made a few computer trips. We're going to take a little pause real quick, and we're going to go up top, and we are going to get some food. Let's go grab a bite real quick, recharge our own personal batteries, if you will. Can we... Hold on, man. Can you get up, please? Thank you. Get some shrub nuts. I can't see anything. How about we do this? Whoa, that's creepy. Aw, look at that. Does it fall? Beautiful. All right, give me some shrub nuts. We're hungry. Let's eat some shrub nuts. We'll come back. Boom, 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 boom. That's not going to get us a lot of water, but at the same time, I don't want to waste our water bottles. Dangerous weather approaching. Seek shelter. Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. I'm going underwater in a minute anyways. There we go. Back to full. Okay, perfect. Diving. Back down. Fantastic. All right, let's get back in there. We got more reading to do. I'm committed. I'm committed to this today, okay? This isn't the only time we're going to do this. At some point in the future, we're going to have to do this as well. Like, there's like 70 things. There's like 800 things we need to read. Like, we're going to have to read a lot. So, maybe we nap real quick. Let's do a quick sleep. I kind of hate doing stuff when it's dark because I know that our power keeps going down. So I just kind of worry. And so I'd rather, you know, do this during the day. Okay, perfect. Back to it. Let's get back to reading. This is the reading episode. It's story time. I said that. It's story time. It's good. Alien eggs, carnivores, herbs. Oh, do we read some plants and then come back to this? Let's read a couple plants. Exploitable land and sea plants. What's exploitable? Creepvine, seeds, fevered pepper tree. That's weird. I don't think we saw that. I'm going to pick through and find some of the plant ones that I actually want to read about. Glow fungus. That sounds fun. Fungi. Luna plant. Twisted mandrake. I want to read some of these ones. The oxygen plant seems interesting. Let's read this one really quick. Oxygen plant. The oxygen plant produces a harvestable reserve of oxygen in its bioluminescent floating bulb. It is hypothesized that this attracts territorial air-breathing fauna, forming a symbiotic relationship that protects the plant from herbivorous fish. That was tough. Assessment. Underwater source of breathable oxygen, useful in free diving scenarios. So the assessment is like the TLDR, is what it's looking like. Okay, let's read bullseye shroom. Look at these. Oh, we see these all the time. Yeah, this is a good one. Bullseye shroom are harvestable fungi found growing near coral bridges. The mushrooms are noteworthy for their thick, meaty caps. These caps manage to produce a small amount of chlorophyll, which makes it capable of some photosynthesis. But the mushroom still gets most of its nutrients from dead matter in the seafloor. Assessment. Harvestable and plantable. Okay, cool. They're not super useful, from what I know. Luna plant. Let's do this one. This one's another cool one. The Luna plant grows in shallow water. Branches grow off of this main stem and create irregular rudimentary chambers. If one branch dies or is destroyed, the other branches chambers will utilize the nutrients left behind. Eventually, a new chamber will grow in the empty space. Oh, okay. Interesting. They're pretty cool looking. I like how they're like, I like when they glow. Let's do a ribbon plant. These ones are really weird. This is new to this game because I don't believe ribbon plant was in the first game. The ribbon plant contains a highly concentrated sulfuric acid and can be harvested for use in battery fabrication. The sulfuric acid evolved as an evolutionary defense mechanism to discourage fauna from eating the leaves of the ribbon plant. When harvesting the plant, the core must not be compromised in order to avoid creating an exothermic chemical reaction. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So it's basically just you're using the sulfuric acid to make like battery acid or whatever. Interesting. Twisted mandrake. Oh, these things are kind of weird looking. The twisted mandrake grows in temperate coral zones. Its leafy canopy photosynthesizes sunlight while providing shade to the bulbous structure underneath. All right, that's cool. Violet bew. A common luminescent plant which grows in patches on the seabed. All right, nice. Some of these are pretty quick. That's cool. Shelf coral. A type of stony coral commonly found growing along rocky ledges. Stony corals have hardened biocomposite exoskeletons. The coral's polyps continuously grow upward and outwards in thin layers, creating the grooved shelf appearance. Scaly maw anemone. The scaly maw anemone prefers shallow water and ample exposure to sunlight, and exists in a symbiotic relationship with a species of vibrant algae that live atop the anemone's trunk. These algae thrive in the sun and create a thin, scaly bacterial mat around the structure of the anemone as they feed on other microorganisms that filter through the anemone's water space. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. I feel like I'm in biology again. Redwort. A common plant adaptable to many different environments, the redwort is a staple part of the diet of many smaller herbivores. That makes sense. You see those everywhere, so that makes a lot of sense. Radiant sieve coral. This light-emitting plant is reminiscent of a sieve or colander. True story. Pink narrowleaf. This grass-like species grows in small clusters near coral bridges. Okay. Kelp root. All right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Look at that. Kelp root. Contrary to its name, the visible aspect of the kelp root is a thick, twisted stem. The root system anchors deep into the rocky walls of the cave. Some kelp roots grow a pustule along the stem, which are formed by the plant slowly ejecting out toxic materials that are absorbed by the extensive root system. Assessment. Harvestable for resources used in fabrication. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's used for probably like upgrades or something. Double lung plant. A variation of the Luna plant, the double lung plant grows in shallow water. Branches grow off the main stem, and each branch develops a chamber. Each chamber is self-sustained by its branch. If one branch dies or is destroyed, the other branch's chambers will utilize the nutrients left behind. Eventually, a new chamber will grow in the empty space. Oh, that's pretty cool. So if one dies, it's kind of like lungs. That's weird. Well, that's why it's called double lung plant. All right, never mind. All right, crescent moon coral. The crescent moon coral prefers to grow vertically, similar to a vine. The branching filaments connecting the crescent to the red stem contain tiny flagellum that pull in various microorganisms for nourishment. Ooh, lost it there at the end. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, these things, the big spaghetti things. Yeah, look at these. Coral bridges are formed by rapidly growing coral polyps that exhibit thigmotropism, which causes growth in response to stimuli or when touching a solid object. Coral bridges grow in thick, twisted patterns that anchor onto rocks or other coral. The underside is covered in colonies of blue barnacles. I wonder how many people are asleep right now. That popped in my head, I'll be honest. Not saying, like, necessarily that everything we're reading is boring, just sometimes people fall asleep when someone reads to them. There's a few YouTubers that have talked about how their channels have become notorious as the channels that people put on, like, 5-hour compilations of, and just fall asleep to them because their voice is just, like, monotone and stuff like that. I don't imagine mine is like that, but it's interesting. You never really think about stuff like that when you go to, like, YouTube and whatnot. A violet snow cone. The violet snow cone is a large surface plant that gradually sheds its stem, creating a melted appearance at the base. Over time, the shedded material begins to harden, creating a thick protective shell around the stem of the plant. This shell creates an obstacle for animals trying to get its nutritious flower and water-rich interior. Oh, it's kind of like a cactus then. That's pretty cool. Okay, let me see. Thermal lily. These are one of the really useful plants, so I'm kind of glad to read about it. Thermal lily. The thermal lily is an unusual terrestrial plant typically found on cliff walls. During the day, it points its face towards the sun, absorbing thermal radiation and storing it internally. At night, the thermal lily's petals close to reduce heat loss, and it relies on its heat stores to survive the harsh Arctic conditions. Cool. Pouch bulb. What are these? I don't remember seeing these. The pouch bulb grows in clusters with an intertwining root system that filter water into pouches. The root system has antifreeze proteins that prevent the formation of ice crystals in intracellular structures. Once the water is pulled into the pouch, it is stored for later use. However, The pouch is also lined with antifreeze properties, making its contents unfit for human consumption. Don't eat it. Okay, good. Don't eat the pouch bulb. That's perfect, because that does not look like something I would want to eat, so I'm cool with that. Oh, here we go. Horseshoe shrubs are shrub nuts. We're actually going to learn about them. Here we go. The horseshoe shrub is a terrestrial plant that thrives in warm conditions. Visual identification is easy due to the thick crown of leaves on its bifur-coated trunk. The trunk has a thick, fibrous core that stores water for its fruiting body. Assessment. Fruit can be harvested and planted and could be a sustainable food source. You know it, baby. You know it. It definitely is. The first Subnautica, I can't remember what it was, but they had something like this too. It's a great thing to have, because it just means every time you go to your base, you can just easily replenish all your stats and whatnot. The glow fungus is commonly found in dark caves and is marked by its exhibition of biofluorescence, a unique ability to absorb and emit electromagnetic radiation. This is not to be confused with the process of bioluminescence, which many underwater life forms exhibit on planet 4546b. Bioluminescence is a chemical reaction caused by the molecular luciferin when exposed to oxygen. Okay, cool. We're almost through land. I think we're going to try to read all the flora and just get it over with, as then in the future we won't be reading about the flora. Frosted sinew tree. The frosted sinew tree is a large plant that collects bits of snow along its thick red stem. These ones are cool looking. Snow is 90% air and can provide insulation, which helps prevent the formation of ice crystals in more vulnerable inner sections of the tree. The surface of the snow eventually hardens into a layer of ice, but it still prevents the body of the plant from reaching dangerously cold temperatures. Blue scrub brush. The blue scrub brush is an unusual plant for this climate. Unlike other plants that manage to thrive in extreme cold, which typically grow close to the ground and lack leaves to prevent moisture loss, the blue scrub brush is tall with a fur-like leaf. Within the hollow leaves are chambered pores, which capture and store the sun's heat. Okay, so that's not a cold climate plant, so they must have brought that from off-world. Or it's a summer plant. Trinity barnacle. Trinity barnacles can be found near sea vents and geothermal hotspots. Often in clusters, they feature a thick capitulum shell casing that allow them to survive in very warm water temperatures. Mature barnacles develop a triad of ocelli, which are rudimentary photoreceptors. Alright. Oh, these ones are weird. They set off like my trypophobia. Honeycomb fungus. This hardy fungus erupts through the thick ice shelf. It sends a collection of filaments that collect nutrients and moisture deep into the ice shelf until it hits permafrost. From there, the hyphae intertwine into a thick root-like system called mycelia cords. These mycelium efficiently pull nutrients from the soil. Fevered pepper tree. The fevered pepper tree produces fruits with high levels of capsaicin, which helps raise body temperature and stimulates blood flow. Oh, snap, man. You could make like hot sauce out of that. There you go. Creepvine seeds. Oh boy, here we go. Mature creepvine plants that have survived the predation of small herbivores produce these bioluminescent seed clusters, which may be knocked loose by currents or consumed and later deposited by predators. The embryo is surrounded by a thick oil and silicone layer, which would disperse into the ground as the outer skin deteriorated. This may provide the seedling with the nutrients it needs to survive the low light condition on the seabed. Assessment. Vital alien resource. Construction applications. Yeah, we need it for batteries. Creepvine. A kelp species concentrated in large forests in shallow sandy waters. Loose roots anchor the plant to the sea floor, from where it grows steadily towards the surface in pursuit of sunlight. The stem is fibrous and rich in iron, making it both a viable base material for fabrication of textiles as well as a basic foodstuff. Assessment, viral alien resource, edible, construction application. Nice. Okay, so that explains the creepvine. Why we use it for like everything. Why we use it for like batteries and clothing and all that kind of stuff. Cool. Alright. Very neat. Well, that was it for the flora. So we got through all the plants. So let's take a crack at oh my god, we have so many to read. Look at all the logs and communications. I think we're going to shoot to get through all the animals, and then the rest is going to be something we do on another story time in the future. Okay, herbivores. Let's start with the tiny ones. Let's start with the little one. You know what? I want to start with the peeper fish because they're my favorites. Arctic peeper, also known as the pineapple fish. It's official because I say so. A fast prey fish, camouflaged against the ice. Like the common peeper, it is fast and relatively intelligent, allowing it to survive in large numbers. Researcher notes, don't like the auto-generated name, suggest ice clops. No. Assessment edible. No. Research notes, we're calling it pineapple fish. It looks like, its eyeball looks like a pineapple ring. It is a pineapple fish. Get it right. Bladderfish. Oh my god, there's a lot about the bladderfish. Alright, let me drink a little bit of water real quick. Gotta replenish a little bit, you know? I don't normally do that while I'm mid-record. Normally I drink water in between. But I'm drying out over here. Not surprising. Alright, bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless and bears little resemblance to the other life forms around it. Number 1, semi-permeable bladder. The bladderfish is able to filter air and seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane which surrounds its spine like a bladder. This allows it to remove and consume organic particulate caught on the way and adjust its buoyancy. Number 2, open-ended vascular tubing can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve low-velocity guided propulsion. Okay, so that's pretty cool. They're actually like pushing out the water to move. They're not like that's how they move around. All right. Largely oblivious to threats and practically immobile at night. Oh, so the time you want to go get bladderfish is at night because they won't swim away. That's awesome. Okay, that's cool to know. Its only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air, and cartilage. Assessment. Edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. Membrane has applications as a natural water filter. So apparently you can catch them and just eat them and you'll get oxygen. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. You can actually use that while you're down, like if you can't find like a donut fish. That's pretty rad. Boomerang fish. Oh my god. Why is there so little to read about the peeper but so much to read about the boomerang fish? Look at this guy. He's like, no. He's like, I'm gonna bite you. Alright, boomerang. A herbivore encountered in large numbers, found to frequent shallow waters and move in schools. Serrated teeth. Number 1. Suggested adaptation for grinding corals other herbivores are unable to digest. Oh, that's pretty cool. That means that they can go and eat things. They can be safe because they're eating things that everything else ignores. That's cool. Number 2, twin fins. Unusually, this species' two fins are a cartilaginous extension of its skeleton. They are less prone to damage and provide superior propulsion, but are also harder to grow back. The bright blue tips are in fact the ends of its digestive tract, where the luminescence of the corals it consumes is most focused. Most active during daylight hours and prone to flee on approach, the boomerang can more easily be observed at night when its luminescence gives it away and it seeks the shelter of the seabed. It's edible. So I'm starting to see that maybe nighttime is like if we need to catch fish, that's like the best time to do it. I don't really think it matters too much now because like we've got all the things that help us catch things, but it's good to know. Featherfish. The featherfish is a common species that lives in various biomes. Its coloring is distinct but also functional. The bright white on the belly of the fish helps keep it safe from predators below, blending in with sunlight coming through the surface of the water. I want to get one of these in the aquarium because they look pretty cool. A hoopfish. There you are. Oh, look at him, man. He looks like he's from Journey to the Savage Planet. Like, he kind of looks like that. Hoopfish. Small school mentality prey. There's a lot about the hoopfish. Oh my god. School mentality prey fish with a unique method of propulsion and a distant relative of the bladderfish. Number 1, antenna. Rather than swimming, this life form uses the fine green antenna which encircle its body to alter the composition of the water in front of it, allowing it to sail into the low density space created. Number 2, purple-green coloration. Maybe a camouflage adaptation for mid-range light wavelengths, possibly indicating the hoopfish is more active at dawn and dusk. Number 3, behavior. While schools of hoopfish will form periodically and evade predators en masse, this behavior is more social than it is defensive, and lone hoopfish are often found hunting for food and displaying generally curious behavior. Assessment is it's edible, of course. Interesting. Oh, these are the stupid exploding ones. Spinnerfish, a bizarre fish with star-like fins which it spins to generate propulsion, capable of very high speeds in a straight line, slow, wide-turning circle. Like other small prey fish, they feed on a variety of seeds and grass around the seabed. They are edible. Okay, so these are not what I thought they were. They aren't the ones that explode on you. So that's interesting. All right, big ones. Time for the big fish. Oh, here it is. Here's the number one. Here's the number one stunner right here. My favorite. It was my boy. It's the real one. It's the Titan holefish, also known officially as the donut fish because I said so. A large docile herbivore which emits oxygen and is defended by the small aggressive symbiotes which accompany them. Slow, stupid, and delicious. Oh man, you leave him alone, man. He's doing his best. Look at him. Complex gills line the inside of the hole, drawing cold water in and emitting warm, oxygen-rich water in its place. Attracts symbiotes, which make the holefish their home and fiercely ward off any approaching life form. Migrates more or less at random, feeding from nutrients deposited by the symbiotes. Interesting. So they basically require the symbiotes to survive, which is kind of a bummer because I picked up a bunch of the symbiotes last time I was around these guys. The Titan holefish has evolved entirely beyond basic survival mechanisms like speed, intelligence, or hunting. It exists in a semi-permanent state of unreflective calm, swimming forward on impulse, fully trusting the complex ecosystem which supports it. Assessment: valuable oxygen source if you can reach it. Oh, we can reach it. Look at him, man. The donut fish is the best. The rest of the fish suck. Donut fish and peeper fish are the best too. Sea monkey cluster. Sea monkey nest. Sea monkey nests are large bowl-like... Oh, those are the nests for the sea monkeys. I kind of forgot about that. Large bowl-like structures made of packed sediment and plant matter. The sea monkeys use their wide, flat tails to pack the materials and form the structure of the nests. Sea monkeys are naturally curious creatures, often drawn to metallic materials, which they gather to reinforce the sides of their nests. Yeah, and they steal it out of your hands because they suck. Oh, I don't want to read more about them. These guys are jerks. Look at him. He looks like a jerk. He looks like, oh, dang it. What the heck is his name? From Star Wars. Oh, I can't remember. Jar Jar Binks. He kind of looks like a distant relative of Jar Jar Binks. Sea monkey. A medium-sized and intelligent herbivore which shows great interest in other life forms and their possessions. More research is needed to understand this life form and its behavior. Two finger-like appendages on each forearm are tipped with suction pads for basic object manipulation. Its large turquoise crest is made of rigid bone and is possibly used as a ram, although this has not been observed. Sea monkeys roam the ocean almost playfully, largely fearless of predators. Seen to form small nests where they hoard objects of interest for unknown purposes. Assessment: investigate with caution. Yeah, don't go near him. Just avoid him. Just avoid him. The eye jelly. Looks like an eyeball from above. The eye jelly resides in deep waters. It is made of 3 distinct body sections: tentacles, the main body, and the bell. The end tentacles are covered in bioluminescent nodes, which attract prey. When the tentacles are touched, they emit a shock through specialized cells called cnidocytes. Within these cells are venomous harpoon-like structures called nematocytes, which are triggered by touch. The eye jellies gently drift with little locomotion, though they can track movement with their large singular eye. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Arctic ray. a fast-moving ray species well adapted to low-temperature environments. Two sets of wing-like fins enable this ray to quickly change direction and accelerate. Like other rays, it is exclusively herbivorous. Whatever. Assessment herbivorous. Assessment is it is harmless. Okay, well that's cool to know because I actually thought these guys attacked us, so I'm glad to know that they don't. Carnivores. Let's read about the symbiotes. A small, fast predator which nests inside the hull of the Titan holefish and defends them at all costs. Symbiotes feed mostly on overconfident predators which attack the Titan holefish. Expending huge energy reserves to move quickly and strike their targets, the symbiote is dependent on receiving additional warmth and oxygen from the Titan holefish. Symbiotes lay their eggs inside the gills of the Titan holefish. The waste left behind is absorbed by the Titan, constituting all the nutrients it needs to survive. Assessment. Catch or neutralize to approach the Titan holefish. Or you just swim past them. It's not that big of a deal. Snow Stalker. Oh, this is the big guy. The big guy that we dealt with on land. We got to kill these so we can make snowsuits. The Snow Stalker is a bear-like... Hold on one second. Anyways, back to what we were saying. The Snow Stalker is a bear-like evolutionary offshoot of the aquatic stalker native to the warmer aquatic biomes of 4546b. Behavior. Snow stalkers are typically apex predators in their biomes. They operate in packs and are primarily land-based creatures, but will enter the water to hunt and defend territory. Notable physical attributes. Thick hollow fur that secretes a thin layer of oil helps keep the snow stalker warm in the Arctic climate. Modified dorsal fin aid in aquatic hunting. The cyan bioluminescence on the tongue and tail help the pack stay together during winter storms. Assessment. Avoid. If entering snow stalker territory is necessary, sources of bright light and unpredictable noises have been shown to deter attacks. Interesting. So we want to make noise. I don't know how we would do that. Bright light, I could use a flashlight. That might work. That's something we need to keep in mind because we're going to be dealing with them again soon. A rock puncher. It's one of them rock lobsters. Alright, here we go. A large crustacean which feeds on tiny larvae excavated from coral and rock with its powerful punching arms. Attracted to glow larvae found in and around deep-sea rock formations. Hardened chitin claws can thrust forward at close to the speed of sound to break rock and bone alike. Known to attack larger creatures which threaten its territory, perfectly adapted to cave environments, its 6 legs adhere to walls and can propel it short distances through the water. Heavily armored, vulnerable only to Leviathan-class predators. Oh, okay, interesting. So it's perfectly fine against like the smaller stuff if they try to bug it. Assessment. Avoid or redirect with food. Okay. Penguin. Penguin. Oh, it's our neighbors. Oh, perfect. And their babies. We get to actually read about them. That's good. Bird-like creature. Hunts small fish below the water. Huddles in packs on the ice above. Consumes small prey fish and regurgitates them for its young. Retractable tail and claws allow for fast evasion of predators underwater and maximum grip on the ice. Sharp teeth concealed inside the beak can tear chunks out of aggressors and prey alike. Huddles in packs on the surface for protection against the cold. Assessment. Less cuddly than they look. True. Alright, time to read about Steve. Finally. Not a whole lot about Steve. He is a baby though, I guess. Young penguins tend to huddle on dry land awaiting their next meal. Consume almost exclusively fish regurgitated by the adults in the huddle. They stay to the center of the huddle to stay warm and out of the wind. If separated from the huddle, the adults will become agitated and begin searching for their young penguins. So please don't do this. A little late for that. Assessment. They're harmless. Yeah, they are. The adults really care unless it's Steve. If it's Steve, they don't really care that much. And they'll just kind of pretend like they didn't, they'll just pretend like you didn't pick him up after a while. A cryptosuchus, this guy loves cryptocurrency. That's what I heard about him. He's really crazy. That's why they named him after it. That's just facts right there. Like, he's really big on just everything crypto. The Cryptosuchus is a large shark-like beast easily identifiable by its carapace of thin, bony plates. Structure. These plates are defensive bony structures that aid in heat absorption among thermal vents. It propels itself with wide-webbed flippers that displace massive amounts of water. Behavior. The Cryptosuchus is a bit of a contradictory creature. Despite its fearsome appearance, it is more roar than bite. While territorial, the Cryptosuchus tends to retreat from confrontation after being attacked once. This is likely a form of agnostic posturing. Aggressive fauna tend to avoid fights if the probability of injury is too high. Assessment. Avoid, but can be handled in a pinch. So, okay, so with these guys, you just gotta give them a quick punch. It's just like with a shark if you punch them on the nose or whatever, I guess. That's kind of cool. They don't seem to bother me too much when we're around them, so I'm not worried. Alright, the brute shark. A common shark-like predator with low intelligence. Its relatively streamlined body enables fast navigation of tight spaces. Yellow and turquoise coloration provides camouflage in shallow waters. Slow-moving, it ambushes small fish from above. Assessment, it is a minor threat. Alright, then we got brine wings. The brine wing. This is the one I think that shoots ice at us. These guys suck. Oh my god. Alright, a medium-sized predator known to spit supercooled salt water to freeze its prey from afar. A large bladder on the brine wing's underside fills with seawater as it swims. Some water is filtered out through an internal membrane, leaving behind a strong saline solution. Two flat, transparent, extendable fins act as radiators, releasing heat and cooling the bladder's contents. The brine wing can then contract its bladder, expelling the supercooled brine and freezing the seawater up to several meters away from it. While warm-blooded life forms may suffer minor injuries on contact with the brine, it is not cold enough to freeze most vertebrates. The real danger is being helplessly encased in a block of ice, sinking ever closer towards the brine wing's jaws. Assessment: beware of a full bladder. Yeah, you always got to beware of a full bladder, not only just with the fish. But that explains how they kind of like shoot out their little like ice bullets or whatever. It's pretty crazy. The last thing we're gonna read is the alien eggs, and that is gonna catch us up on fauna, which is cool. Alien eggs. Evidence suggests that a substantial number, if not all, of the local species reproduce through egg laying. Eggs can be found resting on seafloor, buried beneath detritus, or even wedged in cracks in the rock. Different species likely favor different biomes as their nesting grounds. Eggs discovered in the wild are in some form of natural stasis, likely awaiting ideal conditions in which to hatch, or the delivery of some vital enzyme which will kickstart the process. It is impossible to calculate the species of the egg from the exterior. However, it may be possible to stimulate a hatching response if an egg is relocated to a suitable alien containment unit, which is something that we can do. So that's cool. We'll be doing that in the future probably. But there you go. I think with that, that's all the reading we're going to do for today. We got through all of the fauna and the flora and the coral. And we got through some of the tech. I think we'll save the rest of the tech for later. As you can see, we read through like 60 of them, but we still have 15, 23, 25 plus the logs. So what we'll probably do is, because I think most of these logs, I'm pretty sure, what's alien data? Okay, so this is all the alien stuff. Geo, okay. So a lot of these things probably will read to us, but if not, we will read them in the future. Yeah, but that's going to be it. Let's go grab some food real quick. Yeah, Alan, calm down. I know, you want us to get moving and we're not doing it. You're driving me crazy. Just leave me alone, bud. I'm trying to read, okay? I'm busy reading. I keep doing this at night. Give me some shrub nuts. Give me some of them shrub nuts. Alright, close all this up, because we don't want to screw that up. Beautiful. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that. Probably what I'll do... Excuse me? I'm trying to eat here. You gonna eat some of my shrub nuts? Yeah, that's what I thought. Get out of here, buddy. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. If not, I don't know. I think what we could do is probably just every once in a while I will do just a story time like we did here. Maybe I will make sure to label them, so if you do enjoy it, then you can look out for it. If you don't enjoy it, you can, you know, pass up on the video, and then just know that that whole video will be just reading. I probably won't end up doing any actual like main content or side content when we do like a reading episode. So then it's just kind of like something we can go through, because I want to do that. The last Subnautica, the main game, I didn't really read a whole lot, and so I wanted to make sure to kind of fix that this time. I was also told by someone that you should do read some of the stuff, because some of it's pretty interesting, and I do agree. Like learning about the fish where I can't remember the name of it, but I know what it looks like, where you can just hit it once and it'll stay away from you for good. Like, that's pretty good to know. Knowing that these stalkers, they have issues with bright lights, that's going to be helpful. That's going to be pretty helpful to us going forward, because we're going to be going back to the ice area. We're going to go back on land pretty soon. But I wanted to make sure that we got in and we actually did some reading and we looked into it. Again, if it is something that you liked, then I hope that you'll enjoy the next time we do it. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you did like it, let me know as well. But if you didn't like it, maybe I could do like every video we read like 3 things instead of doing a video where we just read for an hour. But I don't know. I was trying to find a way to catch back up on things, because I knew that we had like 80 different logs that we needed to read. And I kind of thought that this could be like a fun idea of some way that we can catch up on them and kind of look into some of the different things that we've already experienced in the game. But either way, that is going to be it for today. Thank you for joining me for this story time. And if you're asleep right now, have sweet dreams. And, you know, I hope that you're dreaming of peeper fish swimming circles around you while you eat pineapples from a can, or fresh sliced. Who knows? Oh, goodness. If you don't mind tossing me a like, it really does help out. But either way, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you'll join me again next time. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.